All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 24. How is it possible that we can have an Episode 24 that is like so close to the end of the finalister season,
and
but not quite
like
final
the show
season,
is anywhere close to being
because
done.
there is no way that this show's actually ending at Episode 28 or whatever it'll be with the 12 plus the 16 from the first part. And yet, you know, the world is ending. So,
I mean, in a literal sense, yeah, the world will never be the same no matter how this show ends. One, because we all got to experience Attack on Titan, but also the Attack on Titan world as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, maybe in 50,000 years, the Attack on Titan world will be, you know, or 5,000 years, you know. Like,
or, you know, a million, you know, who knows,
something
depending
like that,
on
who knows?
the evolution, you know, process.
Right.
There. But,
Eventually, you know, the Eldians will spread out and all of that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, we're in a bit of a situation now where a lot of the other characters are dealing with some shit back at home. The airships yeeted themselves back off to Marley to get ahead of the situation.
Sound the alarm.
Yeah, but everyone
Jaeger
on
is
Parody
coming.
is basically in the, okay, what is our priority here?
Yeah.
What do we do? I don't know. The man with the plan is off trying to deal with the Connie situation.
Yep.
And then the other smartest character in the side of things with the 104th, Hanji, has brought a half alive Levi.
Exactly. A
back
quarter
to
man.
Magath and Peak,
Yes.
which is a fun set of duo setups that I'm really excited to see how they play off each other. But then, of course, them being leaders of their respective parties, maybe they can broker some kind of treaty.
Maybe, mayhaps, perhaps.
Stop fighting.
Yep.
Stop fighting. Stop, everyone. Stop fighting.
Exactly. And then you also have, like, Hitch and Annie who are going around doing their thing. And, like, Reiner's still, like,
Sleeping.
taking a snooze, you know, which he is sorely needed.
He is wont to do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And every time every episode that goes without us seeing Reiner, that's another victory. One small step for man.
One giant sleep for Titan kind.
Yeah.
Reiner's like, real shit, I still sleep. You know, like,
It was a good nap.
it was a good nap.
Exactly.
Indeed.
He just sleeps the rest of his 13 years out.
That's not that long, really.
And let's be real, he'd probably prefer it that way.
He probably would.
But
no, Reiner, we might need you to be kind of the hero pretty soon.
That's right.
So, all right, this is where we're at. This is where things are going. Not really touching base with where the rumbling is going, so maybe we do a little bit of that this episode.
Not here.
Yeah. And let's see how all our characters are doing. So y'all, thank you so much for submitting the comments. Jacob has curated 3 of them that left the special phrase. There will be another one at the end of this episode's reaction discussion. So please use that if you want to have your comment featured in the next episode's reaction.
Yeah, but let's get into these.
The first one here, where's the scarf? Jean's character reached its absolute peak. Don't judge me. This episode, a person who was once looking for an easy way through life, but then was forced to confront the horrifying reality and ultimately made a choice to face it. Now that he sees all of it played out and how that decision in part contributed to the current situation, he's offered a way out by Flock and Aaron, obviously. What will he do? Tatakai. Even though Jean is in a completely different situation from most of us, the choices he faces are surprisingly similar. We too often try to run away from our problems, only to be reminded by cruel reality what that really means. And even when confronting our problems, it often leads to absolute disasters, leaving us to wonder, what exactly did we struggle for? This, to me, is a hallmark of Attack on Titan. The characters in the series live with this fantastical, supernatural threat of Titans, seemingly absolutely detached from our reality, yet the choices they face are somehow incredibly relatable to our everyday lives. Yeah, and I think that's why Jean was a very easy to relate to character in season 1, not just because he got like the most characterization probably
of all of the side cast
of the 104th, you know, but he has gone through quite a bit, and now being the leader again here, but also being, you know, locked in that idea,
Locked by the flock.
locking Flock, and not really knowing what the best play forward here.
Right.
Yeah.
And what are stories for if not to give us a dramatic representation of some of these struggles that we go through in our own lives that might seem innocuous or unimportant or not that big of a deal, and yet they're a big deal to us. And then, hey, throw Titans in there, and suddenly it's like, hey, yeah, they're struggling with maybe some similar things to what I am, just, with Titans.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, great comment. Thank you for that. Next one. Where's the scarf? History is full of people like Flock. They're the ones who lead secret police units, command SS brigades, etc. They are men who carry out a dictator's will and eliminate his enemies for him, basking in the power and importance that their loyalty to their dear leader grants them. The scary thing about it is that it works. It's all too easy to dismiss his actions as Flock being trash, but the things he's doing are exactly the kind of things people like that do to quell dissent and enforce a rule of terror. Attack on Titan is giving us a glimpse into a very real and very frightening facet of humanity through the character of Flock.
Yep.
Yeah, Flock is a very, very, very strong, like specifically simple character, and I absolutely despise the person. The character is fun to have in the story.
Oh yeah.
I just know he's going to die. Like there's no way
He must
there's no
die.
way he can survive this series.
Although, is there a possibility that there could be like a poetic,
No.
him, like a poetically pathetic him surviving end?
No.
No?
No.
Just, he's got to die.
He's going to die.
Yep.
It's
yep.
the
I can get
poetic
behind
irony is that he was never really the lone survivor. He died that day. He
That's
died
the
that
scary
day in the
things
cavalry
that,
charge.
yeah, he did.
That's
did.
the truth of it.
Uh-huh.
Is that Flock
He didn't
was
come back.
the scared boy. Flock died, and this man came forth from
God.
that.
And yeah, how many times do you think about like kill the boy that the man may live, right? The scared person went in and, the serious take charge person came back.
It's like,
but he's this kind of serious take charge person. I see. And the idea that theoretically, right, how much of Aaron's plan, like granted the rumbling started, so it's not like much can be done at this point, but how much of what's going on back on Parody is just because of Flock, right? Like,
Sure.
if not for him, theoretically, the Jaegerists could be ousted, whatever, stuff could happen.
There's not too many individuals of renown that are making their will, known on the side of the Jaegerists.
But
really.
one bully with a gun, and suddenly, oh shit.
And a lot of loyalty to a cause.
And people that will, back him up enough that they're not easily removed from the situation.
Yeah, they don't necessarily question things too much. I think the really compelling thing about Flock is really his loyalty. The idea that he is so devoted to this cause that really that's why he has to die. It's that he can't exist in whatever future this story leaves us off with.
Like a much, much, much milder form of Aaron, kind of?
Well, in some ways, yeah, Aaron has to die through this story as well. Like, he can't really go through all this and not sacrifice everything for whatever he's,
which is
ultimately wanting.
Right, which is the callback all the way back to season 1 with the whole thing of, can we be willing to sacrifice our own humanity in order to save ourselves?
And
right?
if Flock is truly in on this, which I believe he is, that's the reason why he's so terrifying, is that then he should die. If he believes in this so much, he should die along with his, dear, precious God, And that's what's... Like, I think that's what's foreshadowed to happen. I think if Aaron has to die, then Flock has to die.
I can imagine. Pretty much that
simple.
I can imagine. I've read the manga and all that, but I can imagine that if that does happen, it will be very, very satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Final comment here. Where's the scarf? Interesting detail is that Flock's last name, Foster, can be translated from German as the one who lives in the forest. Also seeing Jean's guilty and shocked look at Onyankapon was heartbreaking because Jean is almost surprised with himself that for a few moments he really felt relief that it's all over. Ooh, I love it.
God, that pun with the relief. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that just made me chuckle because the whole forest thing. But yeah,
I mean that was separate. That was talking about Flock, though.
No, right? But Flock is trying to coerce him back into the forest.
They could have just not
that is
it
true.
could just be
if it's a typo. I'm sorry
It's
for
probably a
calling it out
typo.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where the themes in Attack on Titan are just so on point, and this is such a wonderful example of them. Like I love names for characters that have extra meaning, and that's not an easy thing to do,
Right.
especially with this like this far in advance of the whole situation, right? Like, obviously, Flock was introduced so that he could turn into this type of character, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. I love that detail.
Yeah. They all, thank you so much for the comments. These were fantastic. So, yeah, we're now going to start the episode and see where this leads us. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
When Attack on Titan has a content warning,
oh, shit.
you know shit's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Hanji! Having to kill her own just to survive. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Split his eye open.
How many stitches did you get, Levi? Well, about 200.
多分順番が来たんだ。自分じゃ正しいことをやってきたつもりでも。時代が変われば、牢屋の中。
So we're going to see Hanji getting flung into the Path's realm.
ね、リヴァイ。
Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
まさかエレンが世界を。
The way that's tilting.
ジークはイエーガー派と志願しなくへ向かった。それから半日ほど経ってる。一体。
For half a day, Levi is doing great.
死を選ぶ覚悟があることを見抜けずに。
Yeah, there go his fingers.
逃がした弾は避けられない。だがこのざまを敵の前にミスミスさらした。
Yeah, you'd be a fool to let me die
あ
now.
んたたち次第だ。
Either we talk or I join Erwin.
撃つ前に聞こう。ジークを殺すと言ったが、奴は今どこにいる？
Who
おそら
knows?
くは王家の血を利用するために。
Yeah, but that's not saying much.
いや、始祖の巨人に。
Oh, that distinction.
Yep.
我々はやるしかないんだよ。
Yep.
みんなで力を
We've
合わ
got
せ
two
よう。
Ackermans on our side. Okay, there's the OP.
It's coming,
Rumbling, rumbling.
break fire. Pride.
Okay, all right.
Okay, who's dying then?
I mean, there was a content warning, so.
Yep.
And what does it take for Attack on Titan to put a content warning in?
Well, there was one that they gave around the declaration of war.
Right, because the killing of the kids,
The
and
civilians,
the buildings and
yeah,
the civilians and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Just trying to get some rest.
And he sleeps through all of it.
He hasn't even touched the apples.
Nope.
Our boy really needed that.
You think something like the rumbling is enough to wake up
Oh,
Reiner?
see, this is good. This is good. In that little bit there, we now know that Armin and Gabby are riding through the night, whereas Connie's taking a rest.
That's true.
やっぱり力ずくか。くそ。サシャ。お前なら分かってくれる
While
か。
he's debating this, he's literally in a forest.
Yep. Lost.
ここ、ラガコ村。
どうして分かった。
昨晩、
Oh,
あなたの独り
shit.
言が聞こえてきました。
Oh, here we go.
サシャって
Yep.
飛行船でガビに撃たれた仲間の兵士ですよね。俺に復讐するつもりですか？
違う。あれは戦闘行為だったと。
Stuff like that happens. It's not personal.
Yeah.
動けないから安心しろ。もう何年も
Can it eat
この
then?
ままなんだ。
As long as it can work its jaw.
これを
It might not be able to,
俺に
though.
見せてどうするつもりですか？
Just climb the ladder and,
Oh, God. I just realized content warning.
巨人の歯磨きを手伝ってほしいんだ。こんな貴重な
Connie!
めったに
What is that face?
that face, holy shit.
He doesn't believe you at all.
That was more disturbing than the Yelena face.
あそこまで登ってみて考えようぜ。なあ、いいだろう。
Wow, there it is. There it is. Yeah. How'd you think this was gonna go?
That it'd end before they got here.
聞きたくねえ。何も言うな。お前には分からねえよ。
Oh!
アギトの力を使ってアギトの力ガリアードさんは
Well, about that.
Wow, Erwin.
Uh-huh.
Erwin. Wait, Armin,
There's
what
one
are
way
you
to
doing?
stop this.
Armin, no! Armin, no! No!
何するつもりだ何か言えよアルミ
He's trying to mind fuck him here. I get it, but no.
行動で示せよ
Oh my god. And she won't even be able to bite. Watch. Oh, and Connie saves him. Wow. Oh, Armin.
Yeah.
That was so smart and so reckless. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it was guaranteed to work if it worked.
どうするつもりだったん
The
だ
dumbest plan.
君のお母さんが人の姿に戻って
When it comes right down to it, what's more important? Him being alive or the alliance happening?
そうなりゃ母ち
Do
ゃ
you
ん
think Armin is not useful anymore?
考えりゃわかることなのに僕もだよ団長の代わりになれなかった
I mean, that was
No.
a brass pair that would have made Erwin proud right there, Connie.
俺は母ちゃんに誇れる兵士になり
Roll
たい
credits.
だから困ってる人を助けに行こ
The both of us.
Connie's so clear right now, as if just everything makes sense.
So,
探
okay.
した嬉しいです
Wow, okay. We're moving on
私
now.
を探してくれないですか
Okay. Of
このマフラーを
course.
あなたが
Of
持っ
course
て
you
いる
took
と
it.
思って
Yeah.
少しだけイエーガーさんと話したことがありますあなたのことで
Whoa.
このマフラーは捨ててほしいと話してました
Her eyes.
このまま私と返して
No.
あなたに憧れて兵士になりました悔いはありません
No regrets.
あなたの背中を追いかけて私は心臓を捧げて生きたのですから
Wow. Mid talking.
Uh-huh.
Well, Mikasa is.
なあミカサお前もイエーガー派に加わ
Look at her eyes.
ってるのか
興味ない
ジャンはすっかりその気らしいがな心臓を捧げよ
Watch him not salute.
う心臓を捧げよ
He's not saluting.
He isn't.
Look,
Nope.
they're looking at each other.
う心臓を捧げよ
Oh, this is.
God,
This
that-
is
that
interesting.
transition,
Here
that
we
was-
go.
Oh, man.
とにかくライナーの元に急がないと
2,3 日は昏睡状態だから安心して
Gabby's like, no, he'll be sleeping for a while.
いいんですかまずは腹ごしらえだ
And that parallel to the beginning of season 4.
すべての硬質化が解かれたのなら兄が復
Wait,
活した可能
is that her literally right there? I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
hold on. She was faster.
兄がパイをむさぼり食ってるやめなよコニー汚ねえ食い方4年ぶりのパイなんだよごめん並ぶのに時間かかって
Oh, God.
ヒッチ偶然アルミンコニーと会い
Get
Just
fucked, I
like
guess,
that.
Hitch. Bye.
Yeah.
先を急ぐ
See, sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah.
4年間
You've
話
had
しかけてくれて
people do this before, haven't you?
Yeah.
さようなら陰湿なルームメイトより
Your gloomy roommate.
Mm-hmm.
一人じゃ食べきれないじゃない
You could track them. You could probably, well, not in the city, maybe
よく
not.
集ま
No.
ってくれたこれよりエルディア帝国にあだなす
Pride. Oh shit.
エレンがジークに勝利して計画は阻止されたが罪人はジークの忠実なしもべとしてよく働いた。
She did.
She looks pretty defeated.
イエレナ、最後に言いたいことは
まだ撃たないの。
まだ撃たない。
Flock?
罪人はオニャンコポン。
Oh, still going through all that.
計画を知らず
Flock.
エルディアのためによく働いた。だが
だがことは
エルディア帝国に従って生きるくらいなら死を選ぶと吐き捨てた。気が変わったのなら今のうちに。
Oh, let's go, Onyankapon. Let's go.
俺はマーレから故郷を救うためエルディアに力を貸した。それはあんたたちのためでもあった。そして力を貸した結果、俺の故郷は潰され、俺の家族は皆殺しだ。で
Talk, man.
出来の悪い
Yeah.
クズ野郎どもか。
Call him out. Call him out.
お前らにこびてまで生きるほどの価値はない。
The man, the myth, the legend.
どれほど理不尽なことか知ってるはずだろう。どうしてあんたたちがわからないんだ。黙ってないでなんとか言えよ。
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my god. I thought he did it.
しまった。外した。何のつもりだ。
Yeah! Oh baby! Wait, Jean?
ミカサは
Hold on. Wait a minute.
銃声が続けて4発。
Oh shit! Oh, let's
Uh-huh.
go!
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go! Yeah!
十分つ
Ah!
今なら砦の反対側に注意がいってるはずだ。行こう。
Squatting up! I'm so hyped for this!
Oh yeah.
チャリキは何ヶ月も巨人になったままでいられるんでしょ。歯磨きとかしないの？
失礼ですよ、女性に対して。
家側にいれば地位は安泰のはずなのに。
Now with the light reflecting off the water. Oh.
部屋にこもっていたかった。
There's no way you could have.
それじゃあ骨の燃えかす
There
の
it
を許
is.
してく
There
れ。
it is.
Yep.
じゃん。言ってる意味がわからないけど、ありがとう。
なんで私
Yeah.
Yeah. You got saved too.
することがチャリキの力を借りる条件だ。
Wow.
生きたまま引き渡せ。
Uh-oh. I'm in danger.
My dad is giving you the stare down of, oh, oh. But he was, oh, he's probably gonna think he's dreaming or hallucinating or something. Nope, this is real.
安
Yep.
心してください。みんな味方です。
Oh,
時間がね。
getting the entire band back together.
Uh-huh. Connie's there too.
どこに？
Where to? Where do you think?
Yeah.
世界を救いに。
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
There's the band shot right there.
There it is. There it is. Oh. Oh my god. It's like everything I wanted is now just like falling right neatly into place.
How'd you like Annie just randomly like being at the same table?
Yeah, just like,
You know, if Reiner lost his hardening, then that might mean that Annie's what.
that was such an extra bit. I can't believe how it was a weird maybe like editing choice, but there were multiple times where they were like, thing happened, chop immediately, and then the thing is resolved.
The editing was a bit choppy for this
There was
episode.
like, give me this scarf. And then just chop, and then immediately she had the scarf.
Right.
And then
It's like you'd think that would be kind of like a significant thing to see her, you know,
taking it up and
back.
holding it for
Right.
the first time.
What is the physical like motion? You know, is it just like a snatch or is it like a
Yeah.
tentative
I
kinda-
wanted to see that feeling come from it.
Yep.
Another one was just she's eating like a pig, and then suddenly blip, and then Hitch with like the gun. And I'm like,
Right.
That felt more like a story edit, but like
Yeah, the comedy in Attack on Titan has always been a little weird, you know, and this was definitely another
it
example
ranges
of that.
from
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
All of a sudden Connie, the face we got from Connie was not comedic.
No.
In that scene it was, but yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
This was a very solid episode. Very very fast and a bit awkwardly edited at points,
Right.
but it wasn't really that distracting.
Yeah, weirdly fast, but also mellow. Like
Yeah. It was almost unnervingly quick how the Connie situation was resolved. I understand that Connie is in a bit of a fucked up headspace right now in general.
Yep.
So the idea that he would just as quickly kind of revert back of like, yeah, I need to be someone that I'm
right.
my
He
mom
ends
would
up
be
being
proud
forced
of.
into a decision, right? Because it's in a lot of ways, up until now, he kind of didn't really see himself as having a decision or a choice. It's of course I'm going to try and save my mom, right?
Right.
Because I have the opportunity to. So yeah, right?
So
then Armin
someone's
offers
like,
to
"I'll
give
do
him
it."
what he wants, you know?
And then he won't
Right,
let it be
him
me.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the other side of things here that's really kind of dark is that Connie wouldn't let him do it on multiple levels. One, because he doesn't really want this. He does have a choice.
Right. He was torn up about it the whole way there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But also Armin's Armin.
Yep.
They're actually really close. And this is the thing that's dark about it is that the reason why he was mostly willing to do this with Falco and he wasn't willing to do it with Armin because he doesn't know Falco.
Right. And that's why he had to do all the justifications and stuff of like, no, this is actually just fine, right? But when it comes right down to it, he knows, no, this is a little kid. This is somebody's boy. You know, like I can't just do that. And yet, like that, we've done worse stuff, right? Like this is, you know, we've done the whole thing of the serum bowl, right? We've done that stuff, so it's fine now, right?
But it's crazy. If this gets a content warning, what does the rumbling get?
Well, I guess we know now that the situation is that when you have a main character that is a protagonist, on the good guy's side, that is okay with the idea of killing civilians and or children specifically.
So we'll find out basically whether or not the show or Japan considers Eren the protagonist relatively soon.
Indeed. Yeah.
Won't we?
We will. Yeah, I am very curious.
The ratings boards and stuff like that. That's going to be really interesting.
I'm very curious to see what gets content warnings from here on out.
Now, if they move quickly,
those horses are fast.
Well, no, there's no way they can stop the rumbling. But it's how quickly could they catch up with Eren?
Exactly.
We caught up to Connie really quickly because Connie rested during the night. That's a
has to have those dark nights of the soul to be like,
yes,
am I really doing this?
But the idea is that that's hours. That's many hours of the night that Connie stopped moving, which is why they were able to catch up. I love that Attack on Titan does this kind of stuff,
because they never would have caught up if not for that.
Never would have caught up.
And in some ways, maybe Connie did that because he wanted to give them the chance. If someone cares enough about, you know, me and this whole situation, then come and stop me.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And hey, they did.
And also just his own subconscious hesitation of not really wanting to kill a kid.
Yep.
Like, obviously, Connie has no ill will towards Falco because Gabby shot Sasha.
Right. And that was brought up.
He, of course, was torn up about the fact that Sasha died.
But he doesn't hold it as something personal because it's
exactly.
It's war,
but Connie
right?
was not in the group kicking Gabby's head in.
Exactly. Right.
He was just distraught of the fact that one of his other half basically died.
Yep.
So the fact that here he's like, no, I totally get it, man. I've killed plenty of people. Like there's nothing personal going on here. It was war. It was crazy. And yeah, he might have done the same thing. It's all kind of baked into that here. But the idea that what it came down to was Connie was like, no.
Can I save my mom?
I'm doing a disservice to my mom by doing this, but I'm also doing a disservice to myself by making this decision, because this is a decision that I'm making here.
Yep.
I do not have to do this. So, hell yeah, Connie gets the final line. We're going to go save the world.
That's right.
You want in?
And it's
hell yeah.
And it's
Connie
such a squad shot.
episode.
Like,
oh my God, it's a squad shot.
And with Reiner, like when he wakes up too, like seeing Connie there and being like, wait, hold on.
And then he's just like, Ima,
yeah.
Like-
That's right, bitch. We're doing this right now.
Yeah, we need.
We're getting the band
everybody.
back together. We're on a mission from God.
We have one member of the band that's off doing their own thing, and they are not in a right way right now.
So let's
go bring them back into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go
That's
save
right.
them. like I'm so excited about this because
God.
the power of this episode is that Connie in the end had a choice.
Yep.
Armin is a devil. He forced a devious decision here. The idea that Armin made him make the choice here, though, is I had no suspension really about whether or not
Armin was gonna die.
Like Armin was going to die once he did it. But it was the idea that Armin would do this, and I'm like, come on, buddy, you're so much more valuable than this. And what I don't know if you interpret it differently, but I really feel like Armin was saying, make the choice, Connie. Do you see me as worthwhile here? Because if I add something to this ideal, do I add something to make an ideal situation happen?
Do you want to actually do I add something to your life as a person and a connection, but then also
the future?
Yeah, because Connie is deciding the personal thing over the can we potentially save the world,
thing,
right?
yeah.
Which, to be fair, is understandable because how in the bloody flippity huck and what? How is anyone going to stop that, right? So might as well just spend the rest of our time with our loved ones, right?
Right.
You know, or well, we're going to live just fine. Everybody else, you know, but then it's like no. If you actually do care about that, if there's any part of you that wants to stop Aaron, will you need me for that?
Yep.
Because you can have it be your mom, you know. So of course he does, right?
Yeah.
And yet, while Armin
that was part of
knew that this was the perfect way to hopefully convince him, right?
Yeah. Or at least get him away from Falco.
Yeah, get him away from Falco.
And stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if Armin were to weigh in his head the importance that he is one of the people coming up with plans and stuff like that to stop this, versus that they actually get Gabby, Peak, Reiner, and everybody on their side. There's no contest.
There's no contest,
right?
Yeah.
Like
now,
of course
obviously, Connie made a big call here, but I think it was primarily a much more emotional and simple one, in that he's not thinking that far ahead.
Right,
It's just that no, Armin. At the very least, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't say goodbye to you.
But
I've already lost one, and I might have
exactly.
lost two with Aaron.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose any more.
Well, and that's not even counting Reiner and Bertolt and the betrayal that happened
on some
there.
level,
and
on some level, I think he's
had time to deal with that. Yeah,
I think he's still reeling from the loss of Aaron, and then Sasha was more
right because that's a lot more recent. Yeah.
Aaron was more recent, and then Sasha was a few.
It's still fresh.
A few bits ago.
Yeah,
but okay, all right.
One of the lines that I love though that I want to make sure I bring up is the whole thing of where he's like, "Do you think you're the smart one, but do you think you could ever understand an idiot like me?" Like
he said, you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
He said basically, no. You're smart. You can't.
Right.
You couldn't understand basically the way an idiot thinks like me.
There are times when maybe logic just doesn't quite apply.
Yeah. But okay. Levi and Hanji are going to go back into the fight.
Recovering. Yeah.
I love the idea where Levi's like, no, come on. Someone like you, there's no way you could stay out of the fight. Magath's like, hey, I could shoot you, Levi.
And he's like,
yes,
yep,
you could.
You could.
But think about it.
No one gets to Magath's position without knowing when also not to pull the trigger.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Connie's face is
terrifying.
Connie's just brokenness as he's trying to rationalize this.
And the fact that the
scary.
best way that he can think to convince him to get it to actually work is to convince him to climb the ladder so that he's right near his mom's mouth. Like, because it's not like one of those situations like in previous seasons where you fight a Titan, you get them to exhaustion, you cut them out, and then you just make sure that they can't ever grow the limbs back.
Yeah.
In Falco's situation, once he makes a cut, he'll probably transform, right? So it's like, well, what do I do about that?
Yeah.
And since he's new with his Titan, it'll probably be something that's instinctual rather than, any kind of mental control. So, yeah.
Now, I want to say something kind of funny going on here.
With Louise?
Louise had the scarf, which, cool.
Yep.
It wasn't Aaron with, any kind of shenanigans there.
Yeah.
But why was Eren talking to Louise at all then?
I mean, she was one of the people working closely with him as a Jaegerist.
I mean, sure.
And and she was bringing him his food when he was in prison.
Yeah. But like.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it feels a bit coincidental that Eren, who is Eren, would be talking to someone that's so attached to Mikasa in some ways.
Well, yeah, I mean, so yeah, there's I think I see where you're going, and there's it's one of those unfortunate things where there could be a few reasons for it, and because we didn't get much context for it, we don't know which it is.
Yeah.
Is it something where theoretically Eren has like some particular reason where like he's driving the conversation about Mikasa and the scarf, right?
Yeah.
In that case, what's the purpose of it, right? If it's
it's a way to reach Mikasa indirectly.
Oh, sure.
It's a Pad's way of basically being like, I know that based on certain things,
right,
you'll end up in conversation with her, so I'm going to tell you something now that you'll remember later. It's not whose memories are these. It's like, my memories are these. You know?
Yeah. On the other hand, he's in prison. The person who brings him his food is Louise. If they talk, odds are Louise will bring up Mikasa, right?
Well, right, but that's a thing that one is a coincidence. Like that she's near Eren for one. Two, that she would then bring up Mikasa additionally.
Well, I mean, it's the talking about maybe talking about Jaeger stuff or like the you're her brother. Of
course she brings up Mikasa. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that you have multiple levels here. Then once you've gone through, obviously that's happening. Then you have the fact that Mikasa sees her for an extremely short period of time before going off to go save the world,
Sure.
And it's a no. Here's the scarf. It's almost like Mikasa was like, no, I'm putting this down.
But then it's
Louise specifically perfectly inserts herself into the narrative to be like,
it.
No. If you're not taking it, then I will. And then Mikasa's like, no, that's mine. That's mine.
Yeah. You don't get that. That's got some history.
That's not yours.
You don't get to just pick it up and be like,
it feels far too much of a
whether intended or not, it's touching on the thing that is the
Mikasa's sore spot.
Right?
Her
Which
love
is
for Eren and her history and past with him.
Yep, and that's the thing that he specifically professed to hate, which makes sense because regardless of whether that was some kind of like manipulation for some sort of like Code Geass style thing, like you've mentioned, right? It's still something where the not being free aspect, right?
Sure.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Eren's all about freedom. That's something where Mikasa kind of isn't, right? And so if someone were to talk to him about Mikasa and he were to be honest about maybe some of his frustrations, that it's like, oh, I just wish she would throw that scarf away. I gave it to her back then because I thought it would help.
Right.
But now maybe it's become a crutch.
Right.
Like
the idea that even back in season 1, he was like, why are you still holding on to that scarf?
Right.
And
that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So Eren now saying like, I was thinking about throwing that scarf away. They're obviously talking about Mikasa in context here.
Yeah.
Mikasa has this like kind of flare up of emotions and stuff like that. I can't tell honestly if that's just a trigger of how dare he or a thing of where she's like,
that
oh
hurt?
God,
Or
he said that quite a bit. Like the idea of like
Sure.
stuff in the past.
has
like, that
everyone
sounds
known this
familiar.
entire time, and I've been the only one who doesn't because he hasn't bothered to actually talk to me about it or something, you know,
Sure.
until he's so far gone that he's disassociated completely from his friends and family and everything.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Right? But that would really suck to have it be something where this person that you're in love with to then be like, oh shit, have they really just been talking to everyone whenever I come up in conversation about how they're so sick and tired of me?
Yeah. I just love that it's almost like thematically, it's like the soldier who comes back to the wounded, sees someone else who's like, I did what I had to do. I did what I wanted to do. I have no regrets.
Yeah.
I became a soldier because I admired you.
Right.
You made me who I am. I made that choice, but you also made me. And
Sure.
I have no regrets. So
Yeah.
Mikasa, who made you? What
Sure.
are you going to choose? will you have regrets?
And
it's basically just, it's so ham-fisted in a way that it almost hurts me because we have literally a character in the story who is capable of this kind of power, that he could be influencing things to be like, go Mikasa, go, push, push, push.
Yeah.
And it's working. Yep. Mikasa feels so just cold and dead set on moving forward, if you will. Like,
one of the things that I want to bring up is just so I really, really loved episodes 6, 7, and 8 of season 1. Back when season 1 was all we had, that was my favorite section of Attack on Titan, right? Mm-hmm. And I watched season 1 a lot. Episode 6, I believe it is. The title of it is the world that the girl saw, or something along those lines.
Yeah, the girl saw that day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Now, even back in season 1, there was this sense that yes, there's the world that Mikasa saw, right? But then there's also the world that girl saw, and this was before Louise came back into the story or anything like that.
Okay.
But the world that girl saw, when suddenly, while everything is going to shit, right? That girl saw a world where there was a hero flying through the sky that saved them.
Which then ends the little mini arc with then Mikasa having the same moment when then Eren shows up and saves her.
Yep.
And the music gets all transcendent and beautiful.
Yep. So here, she's telling Mikasa basically about the effect that was the effect that was had on her. I don't know the effect that it had on her when the girl saw that world, right? Yeah. And that even though it's had this consequence, no regrets. Right. So now what are the consequences of the original person who the episode title was talking about, with the world the girl saw that day?
Yeah, we'll find out. No regrets though.
Yeah, but you got the scarf now,
but Annie sure regrets eating all that pie in front of Connie. In fact, she almost regurted it back up. She was eating so fast.
That's right.
Oh my God.
I love how she just sped up eating when they saw her. It's like, okay, well,
I love how it was just like, wait, why is this girl in frame? Isn't that Annie? And they're like, wait, is that Annie?
Like that was straight up like so I'm the armored Titan and he's the colossal Titan, and 6 years ago we began our attack on humanity or whatever. But even more coincidental because Annie wasn't even necessarily supposed to be there.
Like, I love the way she coughs on it and then has this
Yep.
Face of just holy shit.
Well, and can you imagine Annie's sense of I have the worst luck, because she sits down at this table, and I believe she sat down before the rest of them, right? Because she would have noticed.
She was probably already there.
Yeah, she's probably already there. Just I'm going to keep it to myself, make sure that no one is looking at me. Whatever. I'm going to eat some food.
They don't even
sort
care
of
to
warming
look
up
at
to
her.
Hitch, right? They don't care to look at her. It's just another person, right? That's in in hood or whatever.
No one's special.
No one's special.
Yeah.
Just someone going with the flow, right?
Yep, exactly.
And then all of a sudden they're like, if you think about it, Annie's probably actually walking around somewhere. We should really find her. She was probably already eating quickly because it's like she hasn't had a meal in 4 years. She's just been
she probably
surviving
didn't
on Titan
them
regeneration.
At all, because it's been 4 years since she heard their voices, and they've grown up so much that their voice probably dropped an octave and a half.
Yeah, right.
So
I mean, granted, now she has heard Armin's voice.
That's true, but we don't know how much of a filter that was.
Exactly. Things get warbled and stuff. Through tightened, hardening diamond crystal
Hitch was
stuff.
just get fucked. Sorry, bye.
Yep.
I'm off. Not the
sincerely Marlo. I mean Annie.
Right. Not the this is where we'll be.
No, this was I'm not telling you where because I don't want you to get involved in this.
Right.
Sincerely, your gloomy roommate.
What's beautiful about this is that she's basically saying, we're gonna go save the world. If you never hear from me again, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I want to keep you out of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know that to you I was just your gloomy roommate. But just I still remember those moments.
But just the idea that Hitch basically has no way I'm going to end this alone, basically. She's now even more fired up.
Oh yeah.
She's probably like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm going to start some shit. I'm going to get this going. I'm going to get out of here."
Who knows?
I actually could see her trailing along behind them.
Hitch comes in with an Irwin charge of people that she's rounded up to help them.
That could be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, Jean enacts a plan that was had off screen. Flock showed that slight bit of hesitation with executing them, allowed Onyankapon plenty of time
and
to go up and talk.
Oh man, whenever this beautiful boy opens his mouth, he just dishes it out to the people that are willing to listen Like that. I love that also for someone as polite as Onyankapon, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, he was just like, you xenophobic shits, you know?
Yep.
Like, he just let them have it. He's like, what part of this insanity actually sounds like a good idea to you? You should know that wanton indiscriminate slaughter is kind of a bad thing.
Yeah.
Why is that so difficult to get through your skulls? I helped you. Like,
Yeah.
not for some ulterior motive. I genuinely wanted to help you. Oh, hey, and now I'm here.
Look what that got me.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
This guy in the window.
I believe it's Shadis.
Shadis.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because they look like they're bald, right?
Yeah.
And who else would be watching them from a window? A bystander, if you will. Not doing anything, right? Sitting on the sidelines. But he's watching his kids go off to save the world.
It's just interesting.
Maybe he's just a little bit proud.
Yeah.
Pride?
Maybe. I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch, but I totally buy that it's Shadis. It's just we didn't see him this episode, so...
Exactly. That's why I think it's a bit more obvious that it's him. Also, I think that might be the room that he was in when he talked to the soldiers. Because I think he might have been basically put under arrest, basically, like at that point.
Possibly.
But yeah, Reiner actually wakes up.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
we had Jean's amazing moment here of like, well, I wish I could have.
Those ashy bones.
Wouldn't have forgiven me.
Yep. And this is another thing that I just really appreciate because a lot of times in stories when characters die, because it's been such a long time in universe and there are so many other characters that the audience has to care about and that the creator has to care about, the fact that, oh yeah, Marco, he was that sort of 2-bit side character that existed for a bit and then was gone, you know? Sean remembers.
Yeah.
He's not going to forget Marco. He completely changed his whole outlook on life and drastically changed his life because the fact that he ended up not going with the military police, best decision he ever made.
Yep.
And also one of the shittiest, like at the same time. I mean, you know, his life kind of was a whole clusterfuck ever since.
Yeah.
But
they're getting together. Gonna go save the world. So,
that's right.
Rounding off, we've got Magath, we've got Peak, we've got Yelena, Onyankapon, we got Jean, we got Connie, we got Gabby, we got Falco, we got Reiner, we got Annie, we got Armin, and we have Mikasa.
Yep.
I think, did I say Levi too?
You might not have mentioned Levi.
So then we have the Ackermans, yeah.
Wait, that's 13.
Well, there's no way they're not, like, they need more than this. Though.
Oh, no, totally. Let's get all the help we can get. But
like, this is not enough. Like, what are they gonna do?
Oh,
like, in reality.
All right. So if each one of us kills 500,000 Titans,
right? So
colossal
I'm
Titans.
sorry. At this point, there's also like a very clear like set of people that are in the you're in the lower power rankings of this squad. So Gabby and Magath. Sorry, you're gonna need to sit down.
Hey, Gabby's trick shot skills. FaZe Clan has nothing on this girl. Like.
No, I'm serious. They're gonna stay in the long range group, out of the fight. Just
they'll be flying the not plane. You know,
they are not using magical bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. So therefore, they have no chance of actually doing damage. This boss has damage immunities to anything that is non-magical.
No, forget magical. The scale of it is not enough that they will be able to do shit against it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's I forget who it was this episode that like brought it up, but like, and how are we gonna do anything? It's like, we'll figure something out.
I think it was Hanji basically in the beginning. Yeah. But all right.
Also, we know Peak doesn't brush her teeth.
I mean, Peak has a lot of, like just general been a Titan for too long kind of problems in general. But Peak can also pilot her Titan while kind of outside it.
Which is pretty crazy.
Really cool.
I don't think we've ever seen, even though that was in the previous episode, I don't think we've ever seen a character in Attack on Titan actually do that. Like even Eren when he,
I think, did that,
even when he popped out, I think he was like...
He was kind of done. His
done.
Titan was just kind of chilling there.
Yeah, exactly. He was more using it for cover and a vantage point, you know. But yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
But
hey, Reiner woke up.
Reiner's
time
up.
to kick names and take ass.
Yeah.
right here, right now.
And he's a real fan of taking ass up the butt with the blade. You know,
That's
just
the one weakness.
Instant death.
Hey, if that ends up, I mean, I've read the manga, but like, watch. That ends up being the way where they bring it back, and Reiner's like, actually, straight up. So there was this one guy in Marleyan like history way back when he was just like, fuck this warrior thing, and he just sat on his blade, and it was awful. It was horrible. The
biggest content warning ever.
There was some kinky sex between two Titan shifters, and one of them crawled up the ass of the Titan version of them, and then accidentally transformed while they were inside. And
that sounds like some Hanji like curse shit. Like we don't. No. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion.
The key phrase.
The key phrase has to be.
What was
going to save the world, right?
Oh, I was gonna say
to save the world.
I was gonna say like, sincerely, your gloomy roommate or something.
I think to save the world is a little bit more.
Yeah, to save the world.
To save the world is the phrase.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the full-length timer version of this reaction, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.